Well, a legend is gone. I'm talking about, of course, talk radio icon Rush Limbaugh. He lost his battle with lung cancer today. Saddens me to the core. He was one of the great storytellers left on radio. I remember Rush as a kid, okay? Walking into my grandmother's kitchen, and she always had Rush on the radio. And I remember sitting there at the counter with my grandmother, Grandma Minervini, listening to Rush. I'd listen to her huff and puff and then sometimes laugh and sometimes even cry. And it shaped who I am today, not just about my political beliefs, but how I put this program together, how I do radio as well. Rush combined the art of informing through entertaining, and that, in my mind, was his key to success.
He is the greatest fighter and winner that you will ever meet. Rush Limbaugh. Thank you.
We are in a war for the kind of country America is going to be.
Let me tell you who we conservatives are. We love people.
Sometimes you just gotta laugh.
My point in all of this today is gratitude. My point in everything today that I share with you about this is to say thanks and to tell everybody involved how much I love you from the bottom of a sizable and growing and still beating heart.
Well, we love you, Rush, and you will most surely be missed. And a big hit to conservatives across the country with his voice and how strong it was. Joining me now is a legend in his own right on talk radio, the founder of PragerU, an organization I absolutely love as well. Dennis Prager is with us. Dennis, I'm so happy to have you on the program. I'm so sorry as to talk about Rush.
Yeah. We in talk radio, and I've been on almost as long as he has with a national show, and we owe him the great debt for having made this institution as enormous as it is. Let me tell you something that I have said often, and of course said today upon his death. Whenever I have a conservative from Europe on my radio show, I usually end by saying, let me tell you what I think the single greatest difference between America and your country, Belgium, Germany, France, whatever it might be, is we have talk radio and you don't. And in every instance, they said that is exactly right. That is an ode to Rush Limbaugh.
You know, Dennis, I think in many respects, Rush Limbaugh built what all of us do now. Me on TV, I still do some radio. What you do on the radio with PragerU, I don't know if there'll ever be another person like Rush Limbaugh, even as big, or anyone could get as big as he was. I mean, he was the king, Dennis, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the king. And the key, though, is to understand that while there's no question he's not replaceable, the legacy that he has left and the seeds that he has planted are so enormous and widespread that he, in death, will have accomplished more than most people do in life.
Mm-hmm. You know, I remember, I told the story about listening to him in the kitchen with my grandmother listening to the radio, and I thought, here's this guy. He just speaks his mind, and he's not ashamed of it. That shaped me in so many ways. How did Rush shape your career?
Well, ironically, I was broadcasting, it certainly dates me, I was broadcasting a few years before he was, in Los Angeles only, and of course he went national years before I did. In the sense that he shaped my career was making this gigantic stage available to me. On our own, we would have gotten X number of listeners, but he made conservative talk radio. And by the way, that's almost redundant. Talk radio is overwhelmingly conservative. It is the greatest force. No knocking of Fox News or anybody else. Everybody contributes. But
Newsmax, Dennis, Newsmax, don't forget.
No, absolutely no. That's why I'm on with you. I'm a major Newsmax fan. But I'm just using a very well-known example that precedes Newsmax. But you guys are terrific and critical. But again, you, me, everybody is the legacy of Rush Limbaugh. That's your point. That's my point. We all know this. Also, I didn't know him well. I met him a fair number of times, and I think I get a good sense of people after meeting so many people so many years. Yeah. I don't think it went to his head. I think the guy really cared about America much more than he cared about Rush Limbaugh. And that's about as beautiful a thing as one could say about somebody.
I think he also enjoyed the craft as well. For as much as getting the message out there, and I know that was his main mission, but you could tell he enjoyed the craft of radio, as you do too, Dennis Prager. And
that's
again,
right.
I'd love to get you back on and we talk about some other stuff with you, because you're doing such great work at PragerU and your radio show. So I hope to get you back, Dennis. Thank you.
I'd love it.
Absolutely.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.